So picture this. You are standing right outside the interview room. You were feeling completely prepared, totally confident just 5 minutes ago. But the exact second you reach for that door handle, bam, a wave of sheer panic washes over you. If you're nodding your head right now, let me tell you, you are absolutely not alone. We've all been there. In today's explainer, we're going to completely demystify that terrifying barrier. We'll break down the actual psychology behind the HR round step by step and hand you the exact tools you need to conquer it.
I mean, let's be real, just hearing the phrase HR round is enough to make perfectly talented, highly capable candidates completely freeze up. And frankly, it's just heartbreaking. Why? Because that exact nervousness ends up pushing brilliant job seekers away from literally the opportunities of a lifetime. But why does this specific round feel so incredibly scary to us? Well, the truth is, most of us just completely misunderstand what the HR round actually is in the first place.
So let's bust our very first big myth. A lot of people have this expectation that the HR round is some kind of intense, rigorous test of your technical knowledge. We think they're out to trip us up on facts or coding or whatever. But in reality, it's actually designed to evaluate your personality, your attitude, your communication skills, and really just how well you fit into the company culture. It's honestly not a technical interview at all. It's all about who you are as a professional day to day. So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 5 key things. 1, the real HR round. 2, the biggest HR secret. 3, building unshakable confidence. 4, top questions and body language. And finally, number 5, the final 5 minutes.
All right, let's jump right into part 1, the real HR round, and understanding the fear.
Look, there are 4 major triggers for interview fear that almost every single candidate faces at some point. First up, the fear of rejection. I mean, let's face it, absolutely nobody likes being told no. Second is a lack of preparation, which just leaves you feeling totally exposed. Third is overthinking. You know the drill, spinning those endless what-if scenarios in your head until you're practically paralyzed. And fourth, low confidence, which honestly is usually just a byproduct of the first 3. If you felt any of these, trust me, you're experiencing the exact same hurdles as literally everyone else sitting out there in that waiting room.
Okay, moving on to part 2, the biggest HR secret and a total mindset shift.
Okay, lean in for this one because here is the absolute biggest secret of the entire interview process. Ready? HR is not sitting there to fail you. Seriously, I really want you to let that sink in for a second. The HR manager genuinely wants you to do well. They want you to be the perfect fit so they can fill the role, close the hiring ticket, and just move on with their day. The exact moment you realize they are secretly rooting for you, your anxiety is going to drop like a rock. It completely changes the whole dynamic. Which brings us to part 3, building unshakable confidence with an actionable toolkit. Now, true confidence in an interview setting isn't some magical treat you're just born with. No way. It comes directly from solid, tangible preparation. So, here are 5 highly effective steps to eliminate overthinking in the days leading up to your interview. Step 1, research the company. Know what they do and what they value. Step 2, practice your introduction until it just rolls right off your tongue. Step 3, prepare for common questions. And hey, we'll get to those in just a second. Step 4, dress professionally so you actually feel the part. And step 5, arrive early to give yourself a solid moment to just breathe. If you do these 5 things, you are fundamentally removing the variables that cause all that panic.
Let's slide into part 4, top questions and body language, or as I like to call it, mastering the room.
So these are the guaranteed hits. Almost every single HR interview you ever go to will include some variation of these top 5 questions. Tell me about yourself. Why should we hire you? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And of course, the classic, where do you see yourself in 5 years? You should absolutely never have to invent an answer to these on the fly. Having these answers clearly prepared and rehearsed, that acts as absolute armor against your nervousness. When you know your answer is ready to go, the fear just kind of vanishes. But hey, remember, it's not just about the script. What you say is really only half the battle. How you say it, your posture, your eye contact, your smile, that speaks volumes before you even open your mouth. These small details create a massive impact. I'm talking about maintaining appropriate eye contact, keeping a nice straight posture, offering a warm, professional smile, using a calm voice, and utilizing controlled hand gestures. All these unspoken cues, they immediately signal competence and ease right to the HR manager. All right, finally, part 5. The final 5 minutes, managing the climax. Now, what if they ask something you just straight up don't know? Don't panic. If that happens, here is your exact foolproof script. Just say,
At the moment, I don't have complete information about this, but I would be interested in learning more. Why is this so brilliant? Well, because trying to fake an answer is a huge, fatal mistake in an HR round. Offering a professional, honest response like this acts as the perfect safety net. It shows integrity, it shows self-awareness, and a willingness to learn. And those are all traits that HR desperately wants to see in a candidate.
And for those literal final minutes sitting out there in the waiting room, here are the 5 calming actions you need to take. First, engage in some deep breathing to lower your heart rate. Second, use positive self-talk. Third, quickly review your key points, but please do not try to cram new information. Fourth, and this is crucial, avoid comparing yourself to the other candidates in the room. Just don't do it. And finally, actively shift your focus. Reframe the impending interaction in your mind. You aren't walking into a hostile interrogation. You are walking into a conversation.
Which really brings us to the core takeaway of this entire explainer. HR round is not a battle, it's a conversation. Listen, the most confident, successful candidates out there, they aren't entirely fearless. Fear is a completely natural human emotion, but they just know how to manage it. Practice makes the fear manageable, and preparation totally transforms a terrifying battle into a structured, pleasant conversation between two professionals.
Now, a major mistake candidates make is leaving all this preparation until literally the day before the interview. You cannot cram confidence, guys. Resources like JobSwami HR Solution exist exactly for this reason. They offer practical interview preparation, communication skills training, resume guidance, and all the updates on the latest hiring trends. Having that consistent practical guidance is exactly what bridges the gap between being a nervous wreck and a calm, prepared professional.
So, as we wrap things up today, what scares you the most in an interview? Is it a really specific question? The fear of your mind's just going totally blank? Think about it and let us know in the comments below. By naming your specific fear and actually applying the structured toolkit we've explored today, you can walk into your next HR round not as a panicked job seeker, but as a fearless, prepared professional who is ready to just have a great conversation. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.